On today's episode, we're going to talk about how to stay on track and consistent with your health and fitness goals, with your nutrition, even when life gets crazy. How do you stick to it? We are going to talk about some real life like mindset shifts and strategies to stick with it for the long haul. It's going to be a good one. Grab your coffee and let's get into it.
I got my coffee.
You got your coffee.
Right here.
Is it good? It smells good.
It is.
It smells really good.
Man, I don't think I could ever give it up.
Why would you need to?
I don't know. You don't? Sal was just talking about that on Mind Pump. And Adam and Justin were like, oh, no. Like, his next episode is to be caffeine free because of Lent. Okay?
Oh, no. He gave up caffeine for Lent?
He's going to try.
He's going to have migraines. He's going to have
Brain
bad
fog,
headaches.
Migraines, moodiness, probably not functioning sharp.
Oh,
I would not cold turkey it. I tried
Let me tell you this. If you stop drinking coffee, go get a hotel. I don't want to see you or talk to you for 30 days. You will be an absolute nightmare.
I did give it up, though, but it was just decaf for a while, remember? I gave up caffeinated coffee after my episode.
Yeah, but you weaned. Oh, remember I brought you coffee to the hospital? You were dying and I brought you a coffee.
You did?
I brought you a coffee.
After my stroke.
I did. We were bad.
Oh, my. You're right, you did, because I had a headache or something.
I did.
I made you. That's funny.
Yeah, you were like, babe, please. You were fiending for the coffee.
And you brought me In-N-Out, I think, too.
I did bring you In-N-Out burgers.
Well, hey, you guys, I'm in the emergency room at Kaiser. I don't even have my own room. I'm like in the little.
We're in this. We weren't admitted yet.
And you snuck me in some In-N-Out.
You
after
guys,
I had a stroke.
Listen, do as we say, not as we do.
Yeah.
Listen, you know what?
We break the rules. We're rule breakers.
Whether you're a coach or a fitness person or health nut or whatever, you have moments. You do the wrong thing. You don't always make the healthiest choice.
No.
You know, it's what you do most often, not what you do sometimes that matters.
We live by the 80-20.
Yeah.
80% good, 20%, we indulge.
I mean.
And we maintain.
I can't stand people who are on this freaking soapbox.
Some of these coaches who act like they eat so perfect in their videos and this and that. Like, really? You eat like that all the time? You never go through a drive-thru or In-N-Out. You never deviate from your plan. So you're a professional competitive athlete, right? The whole time. Even professional competitive athletes deviate. So stop. Please stop fooling people like you eat like that all the time.
All right, you guys, before we get too far down this rabbit hole, make sure you scan the QR code on the screen. All of the relevant links that you need are there, like all of our partners. I've recently partnered with Quince. And you guys know I only partner with companies that I really love their stuff. I had actually purchased a gift for Alyssa from them. I got her like a leather tote bag from them. And I'm all into like leather and like high quality things, but they cut out the middleman, so the prices are really cheap.
Yeah.
So when I got the bag, I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. And I have been seeing them being advertised on other podcasts. And I reached out to them and we started working together. Because I really love their stuff. They have a top quality like clothes and leather items, housewares. I'm going to be getting all of our bedding from them, my pajamas. Anyway, so we're working with them now.
Yeah, and you're right. You don't just partner up with anybody because we get lots of emails from all these companies wanting to partner up with them. A lot of times we just ignore them, ghost them.
Hell no. I find who I want to work with and I reach out to them and tell, usually they ghost me, but sometimes they don't. But I like to find who I want. I don't want them to find me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're being honest. You love their product.
Yeah. It's kind of like we started working with Hero. We actually didn't reach out with them to work with them.
No.
They've just started seeing us. I mean, we use it all the time. So they actually reached out to us separately.
I would tag them in my videos.
Yeah.
My PB&J, my Hero Tortilla tacos. And I just started tagging them like, look, I'm using this. I'm letting people know what I'm using the products. And they started sending you and I free stuff.
Yeah, so now we're working with them too. So if you use code Janine10 at Hero, you get a discount because we love Hero. But I promise you guys this, I am not going to partner with a company that I don't fully stand behind. It's not because, oh, they offered us a good amount of money, so suddenly we're going to be talking about some random shit.
Or something that doesn't work.
Nah.
Snake oil.
No,
we don't
we'll
do
not
that.
do it. We'll not do it.
Nope.
So if you're seeing, like, Quince is newer, Hero's kind of newer, so it's because it's products we love and
Oh, yeah.
So anyways, let's get into the topic.
Let's go.
How to stay consistent. This is, I think that the most important thing, and the reason why people don't stay consistent, because they think it's temporary.
Yes, they do.
You know what I mean? Like,
Wait,
this is not temporary.
If you were to tell them this is for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
they would immediately like, what? I mean, where are you going? Are you getting in a rocket ship and leaving the earth? Like, yeah, while you're alive, yes, this is forever.
Yeah.
You don't have to track macros to a T, but you have to watch your nutrition. And yes, you have to exercise. It's good for you.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to build muscle because you're going to need it in your later years. You're going to need to climb stairs. You need to open up a jar. You're going to need to lift things. Not your kids are not always going to be there to do that for you. You're going to get older. You're going to become a senior citizen. Why not be strong?
So, I mean, that's the whole point of, like, so how do you stay consistent? Well, because this is your new life now. This is your life.
We just talked about that. Is we could have gone in the other direction. We both have that inside of us. You have the big girl inside of you,
Yep.
and I have the big dude inside of me, the big boy. We both been there, but we chose not to.
Right.
And now, because we chose not to, we're going to live, for the most part, a guaranteed longer life. You know, I mean, bar something medically happens to one of us, or a meteor hits us out of the sky. I mean, we extended our chances of living on this earth longer by moving more, eating better, exercising, building muscle.
Yeah. And here's the thing. This is how you stay consistent. You learn to love it.
Yes.
You learn to love it. You embrace this as a permanent lifestyle change. It's not a diet. It's
No.
not a program.
Nope.
It is, you are acclimating to a new life, to a new identity, to a new routine, a new schedule. You have to accept it. So I think step one is acceptance. Accept that this is now a new way of living. Because if what you're doing is temporary,
Yeah, like a Band-Aid.
Not gonna work.
Like, elaborate. You have a Vegas trip coming up, a pool party in 3 months. Oh, I want to diet and look good for the pool party. Oh, I have a bridal event that I got to lose this weight for. You're not going to sustain it. That's just your little Band-Aid. It's temporary. The minute that event comes, all out the window. You haven't learned anything. You haven't accepted your new way of life.
No,
Because we've done it. We've been there. We've done it. That's how we know. We've done it over and over and over. I done it. I got super lean. And why did I let it go? Because the event was, that's it.
because it's a temporary fix.
That's
You
it.
didn't adopt it as a new lifestyle.
Yep.
So how do you adopt it as a new lifestyle? First of all, I think you have to settle into what's going to work for you. And sometimes it may take some trial and error to find what's going to work for you. You know, like a style of eating,
Yes.
a workout routine, just a schedule.
Schedule.
You have to.
For some of you busy moms and dads, we get it. You're busy. Life's busy. So you have to create a plan around that. There's time.
Right.
You're going to have some dead time somewhere in there. You're not going to be working around the clock. So you're going to find something to plug and play. So you have an hour a day. Okay, strength train. Instead of sitting down after you eat dinner, just walk around the house for 10 minutes.
Right.
Dinner's in place. There's little things like that. Whatever it takes.
Yeah. So, and you have to create, like, you have to make it work in your life. That's why I can't really sit here and say, oh, this is what you have to do exactly.
No.
No, because that's a mistake, because that's what works for me. That's not what's going to work for you. You have to think about, well, this is what my schedule is like. These are my obligations. This is my work schedule. How am I going to get this to work? I mean, this is the kind of thing I work through with a lot of my clients. I've got one-on-one clients. I've got 30 one-on-one clients. They all have different programs. They all have they have a different lifestyle and a routine that they're making work, because everybody's life is different.
Yeah.
I had some empty nesters, grandparents, and then I've got, young moms still.
Yep.
So they're what's going to work for them is going to be different than what's going to work for my retirees. You know what I
True.
mean? They're
So
going to have
true.
all the time in the world for their walks and their, whatever. So
Yes.
You have to stop thinking that you need to do what you see certain people doing. You need to find something that's going to work for you in your lifestyle right now. And then you can change it as needed. The pieces can move. They're not static, right? They're not stuck. You can change it as things change. Like, for example, if you want to stay consistent, maybe your school year routine is different, and then you have to create a new regimen routine that's going to work for your summers, because your summers change because your kids are out of school or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's a really important thing, is accepting that this is a permanent thing. It's not a diet. It's not temporary. You have to keep doing it even when the weight's gone.
That's the most important part, to keep doing it when the weight is gone. That's the hardest part. I think people think weight loss is the hardest, and it is hard. Don't get me wrong, it is hard. But keeping it off is even harder, because now you have like, okay, I'm here, I did it. What's next?
You have nothing. You're not necessarily working towards something, so you kind of lose that motivation. You're also, you're close to gaining again, because when you're maintaining, you're eating more, and eating just a little more will be weight gain. So you're close to that also. And maintenance, if you think about it, it's what you have to do the longest, so it gets boring.
Yeah.
You might think like, so you can't let it get boring. That's the goal. How do you fall in love with the lifestyle? You have to fall in love with the lifestyle.
You do.
Because it's a permanent thing.
You do.
So how do you fall in love with it? What do you think?
How do you fall in love with it? You got to fall in love with you. You got to fall in love with the way you look, the way you feel. You got to fall in love with the foods you eat. Love them. And you got to somehow find some love for the gym or exercise. Just know I'm there to train the mind. So if my mind feels good, my body's going to feel good. That's what I tell myself. I'm not always in the mood. I'm 50 years old. I've been doing this since I was 14. I've been in the gym since I was 17 years old. That's 3.5 decades. You know what I'm saying? So I have to find love every day to try to like push myself to go work out, because I know how I'm going to feel. And I love the way I look. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with it. I love what I see in the mirror. I love what I created at this age, because I know what I used to look like. I love looking back at pictures. What I looked like when I was 25 compared to now, it's like, whoa, look at that.
It's crazy, because we've been looking at the old pictures lately. It's so crazy to think like I wish I could go back, because it's done in such little, like, if I would have been that person that needed to lose this weight, and I had this crystal ball where I could see myself in the future, but nobody told me what it took to get there, I would think there's no way. Like,
at your worst,
I would have thought it was insurmountable.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to think to get to that. Like, hey, by the way, you need to get to this, and just showed me today. I'd be like, hell no.
You're tripping.
Like, that's too much work.
Yeah.
That'll never happen.
No.
And all this negative, all of the roadblocks, the negative, that was me. I would have been like, no way. But I didn't do that. I was just little at a time. What can I tweak
chipping
now?
Away.
Chip.
It's kind of like, take those big ass redwood trees. You take a lumberman, he's swinging that axe. He's chipping away at that big ass tree. It might take him hours to cut that big old timber me shivers, or whatever they say when that thing's going to come down.
Shiver me timbers.
Or however they say that, Or they warn you when it's going to come. Now they use saws, obviously. But back in the days, they didn't have that.
Yeah, timber.
Yeah, it's coming down. They're swinging that axe, chopping. Well, same thing. You're a little bit at a time, and you don't see it. You're chipping away at it. And then a month goes by. 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Then you could, take photos and look like, whoa, we look totally different. Then a year goes by. I just showed you my client, what he did. He's not quite at a year, but how much different he looks, how much younger and youthful. I look almost, I'm 50 now, but I look at my 25-year-old self like, whoa, look at that dude. I wish I could go back with what I know now and go fix that dude at that age.
I know.
And I know what I was doing wrong. I was over-consuming alcohol way too much, abusing it, and eating late night all the time.
I think that falling in love with, number one, yes, when you do reach your goals, then you fall in love with how you look and feel. So then that can help you maintain. But if you haven't reached your goal yet, so you don't have that to hang your hat on yet, fall in love. For me, because my passion is food, is to fall in love with what I eat. So that was like a commitment I made to myself, a promise, if you will. I told myself, I'm not going to eat things I don't like, period. If I don't love it, I'm not eating it. I have to love it. And it doesn't matter just because I'm trying to lose weight or trying to reach a goal. That doesn't matter. It doesn't change that. I can still eat only things that I love. And that's why we talk about, it's like kind of our tagline, right? For our program, eat what you love.
Eat what you love.
Eat what you love.
So what is it for you? What keeps you on point, maintained? And I know you're a very vain person since we've been together. But
it
now, all
is
these years
because
later,
I love the way I feel. I've always, and I guess I have to say, for those of you who followed my journey and my story, my dad was definitely raised by a narcissist father, but it's not all negative per se. But I think that because of that, he always instilled in me specifically that I had to be the best, that I had to stick out from the crowd, better than everybody. And luckily, I don't feel like I have that, I don't have that venomy thing inside of me. But for me personally, how I look at myself, I hold myself to a high standard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I do remember he was disappointed in what I looked like when I gained weight.
Yeah.
He was really disappointed.
You could tell. He said some things.
Yeah,
because your dad's very.
Oh yeah,
he's blunt. He don't hold nothing back.
No, he didn't. Are you kidding?
He goes for the jugular.
Do you remember one time he insulted? I won't say it because I don't want to. She listens to the show. I don't want to make her feel bad. But he insulted her, came right out and said to someone we know, "You look pregnant." Oof. And that's so rude. But I remember being kind of embarrassed, oh man, to go over there because he was going to shame me. But then I also remember being happy to go over there when I was skinny. So he would tell me oh, you look skinny.
Yeah, right. Make him proud all over again. Because, as a kid, you always wanted to make your parents proud.
No, but for him especially because he was like that, But I think that part, so it's part of that is why I hold myself to a higher standard. And I'm always striving for more, has to do with that. I don't necessarily say that's a good thing all the time.
It's crazy because there's two of you that are very vain with your looks in your family, your immediate family, you and your brother. And it's me and my sister. I flipped her mindset. Yeah,
Danny is, it's a joke. It was an ongoing joke. We were called Team Vain, Team Vain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we were the vain ones. And I'm not saying listen, I've got problems too. I have hang-ups too. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but there's worse things. And I hold myself to that standard, not others.
Yeah.
I want to make that clear. I don't walk around thinking...
On your high horse.
No, not at all. I just hold myself to a higher standard because it's when something is instilled in you from young child, you got to be the best. You're going to you're the prettiest. You're the smartest.
See, that's all positive. That's all positive talk because it could have went in the other direction.
But it might have to, and it did for a period of time when I didn't meet the standards. I got both sides of it.
Yeah, you're already an adult though.
Yeah, I was, but I remember it bothering me.
Of course, it bothered you.
That's why I don't think I left the house I didn't want to go anywhere. I just hid. That's why I was surprised there were some pictures. It's funny because the picture that I always show it as my before picture where I'm wearing overalls, my hair's kind of short, and I have Tyler's like a toddler in my lap. I found the day that all those pictures were taken, and then all the memories came back. You know why I have that picture? Because I felt really good that day. I felt good. I had already lost some weight, and I felt good. And we've talked about this before. Because you don't have to get to your goals. When you start doing the work, your self-esteem improves immediately. And that's why I have that picture. Sadly, I use it as my before picture now because it was probably the first time I took pictures after my pregnancy was over. So I took some while I was pregnant and then right after because Tyler was a newborn. But then I avoided the camera for over a year. So that picture, and I kind of felt sad for myself because I was like, aw, I remember this day now, and I was kind of happy because I felt cute in my overalls with my cute little haircut. And sadly, now I use it as my before picture. I felt kind of bad for my old self at that time because I remember I felt good, and I was happy to see those pictures when we came across them.
Yeah.
But anyways, I digress. But I think that's why for me, what keeps me here is because I like the way I feel. period. And there are times that I've let things slip a little bit over the years, many times. My menopause, before that, I not much, but enough to where I don't feel good. I don't feel like myself. I feel like I'm trapped inside my body. I don't like the way my clothes fits. So what keeps me here personally is I like the way I feel. That's number one. But I make it easier on myself by loving the lifestyle, by loving what I eat. And the things that I don't love doing, I do them because I know, back to point number one, I like the way I look. I like the way I feel. So I do them anyway. Yeah. So we all know this. You know this. I do not love going to the gym. I love the way I feel when it's done.
You've said that forever.
I love the way I feel when it's done. I love the way my muscles feel, my arms feel tight. I love that feeling. I love the look of a fit body. I've always have. But I do not have a passion for the gym. But I do it anyway because I like the way I look. And so that's what keeps me consistent. So maybe my tip for everyone is, what do you love the most about what it is that you're trying to achieve? Whether you're on your way there or you're trying to stay where you are, what about it do you love? And that's what you're going to use as your anchor to stay consistent. You remind yourself. It's like your why, right? You remind yourself, nope, I'm not going to do this because I don't like the way I feel when I gain 5 pounds. And that's okay. If that's what mine is, that's okay. It doesn't have to be what yours is, because then you've got your whole people who get on their soapbox and they're like, but you're not even fat, or you could lose, you could use some, you're too skinny, it makes you look a little older, whatever. Don't worry. It's not for you.
It's not for you.
It's not for you. It's for me.
For me. This is my body.
Because sometimes people will try to convince me why I should be 10 pounds heavier or whatever. It's like, this is for me, not for you.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it.
My body, my choice.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you guys, let's take a little break and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I have to tell you about my favorite supplement brand. If you're not new here, it's 1UP Nutrition. This is probably the only time in my entire life that I've been this consistent with my supplements. And let me tell you, it's been a game changer. Their Gut Health Plus and Daily Cleanse have completely transformed my digestive health. I feel amazing and I'm never bloated. And don't even get me started on their protein powders, from the refreshing lemon Italian ice clear protein that I add to my yogurt pretty much daily these days, and their peanut butter cookie iso protein powder. I mean, their flavors are absolutely delicious. It's like having a treat while staying on track with your goals. If you're ready to level up your nutrition and try supplements that actually work and taste amazing, you're going to love 1UP Nutrition as much as I do. Just head over to oneupnutrition.com, use code Janine at checkout for a discount, and try some of my favorites and start feeling your best today, because your health deserves the best, and so do you. Today's episode is brought to you by Quince, and I have to tell you, I'm in my quality era right now, and Quince is exactly what I needed. Look, I used to be all about designer labels, even when the quality was, let's just say, not great. But now I'm way more focused on investing in pieces that actually feel amazing, hold up, and are worth my money. And that's where Quince comes in. They've got the most beautiful, high-quality clothes. We're talking about luxe fabrics, timeless styles, and shockingly good prices, because they skip the crazy markups. And it's not just clothes. I'm about to redo my entire bedroom with their gorgeous linen bedding. And I already know it's going to feel like a fancy hotel at home. So if you're ready to upgrade your wardrobe and your space with pieces that actually last, do yourself a favor and check out Quince. You can thank me later. Scan the QR code on the screen or head to the link in the description. It's bit.ly/Janine E. That's bit.ly/Janine E to shop Quince today. All right, we're back. And so for you, it's the same thing. Do you call upon, like, I often have asked you, what were you thinking when you were overweight? Because I can honestly tell you, you never mentioned it. Because I used to think about it sometimes. I wonder if he realizes he's gained weight. And I never mentioned it to you.
Back
I never
back
said
in the
anything.
day?
I'm our day, like when you were 250 with me.
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking.
Did you ever stop and think, dang, I got big?
I did. I was embarrassed. I was just trying not to call attention to it.
Because you never spoke of it. And I remember wondering.
And I also, I'll be honest with you, I never said this, but I'm like, I better get it together, Mike, because this girl might go in the other direction, and I can't blame her. This is not the guy she met, you know? I got comfortable and slipped, and my old behavior crept back in from my youth, my 20s, you know?
Yeah, you've never said that. So that is something, because I remember I started to, obviously I was working with Matt, and that's when you started to come down.
Yeah. I knew I needed to change. It wasn't even for health reasons, more for vain reasons. Had I known if I had blood pressure back then, for sure it would have been.
Yeah.
Now it's both. Now I know I have to maintain being lean for me to live, because if I go in the other direction, chances are I'm gonna have another stroke and die.
Right.
So I know that's in the back of my mind always. And two, I fell in love with what I see. Not being like, I don't want to sound like some cocky ass, arrogant dude, but I just love what I built at this age. That I defied the odds of society.
It's okay to be proud of yourself.
I love to be in the 1% bracket. I don't want to be like the rest of society. I see what I see out there. I see a bunch of depressed, angry, sad people just waiting their turn for the grave. That's what I see. I see people just waiting for their number to be called. And I've lost many friends to either overdoses or bad health that I grew up with. They're no longer here. I lost a cousin at 40. I know I said this to a stroke.
See, think about this. You never said anything. I honestly didn't know that you were unhappy with your weight. I never told you to lose weight or anything.
No.
The only thing I ever did was made that comment about the burrito.
Yeah.
Because it started to become noticeable to me only when I started working with Matt and nutrition became like at the forefront.
And you notice that addiction never goes away, comes in other forms. And I was always an addict and didn't realize it. What was I doing? I got addicted to eating burritos every day because I love them and I'm that dopamine dump.
Yeah.
So I was always searching for a dopamine dump, whether it's partying with alcohol, doing some type of drugs, or eating. Now I'm aware of that. It's never going to go away. That addict's always inside of me. I just got to keep him caged away.
Yeah.
Because when he comes out, he comes out. Not for alcohol, not for drugs, but in food. You know, I can go crazy. You know my addictions, chips. I got to be careful. I have to be mindful.
Yeah, you have to, and everybody's got to identify where their struggles are so that they can be consistent and stick with it for the long haul. But you have to make it has to be part of your new life. And so I think that that's what helped us is because when I made that shift,
yes,
I changed my life like permanently. And it's evolved over the years, but only more so. But I changed my life. I stopped drinking. I didn't drink for a long time during that time.
That's right. You
I had forgotten. You know what we recently said?
did.
What was the last time the longest I have gone? I had forgotten. I was wrong. I misspoke a couple of episodes ago. I had forgotten that I stopped drinking while I was training for my shows. So I didn't drink for 4 months. I didn't even drink Diet Coke. I even gave up Diet Coke.
Damn, I don't remember that.
Because I remember I have a picture of me after my show drinking a Diet Coke. I didn't want a cocktail. I wanted a Diet Coke.
Whoa.
Because I didn't drink any carbonated beverages because I didn't want bloating. Whatever. I was like, I stuck to it to a T.
You did.
But I changed my life at that time. And then I started to focus on protein and nutrition and aesthetics, not just weight loss.
Yeah, you learned aesthetics training.
And that's when your lifestyle started to change too, by like osmosis, right? Just by being with me. And that, thank God it did, because it's really difficult if you're living two totally different lifestyles with your significant
And nobody
other.
wants to talk about that uncomfortable elephant in the room. Like one, let's call it what it is. One becomes a 10.0 and you're a minus 10.0. Like it's going to be uncomfortable. I hate to say
it's going to cause pain points for sure.
Yes, it's going to cause some insecurity, some jealousy. We've experienced it with clients where one will flip, the other one stays like stagnant or gets left behind. And sometimes that person gets extra attention and they can start veering in another direction. That's just a matter of the truth, but people don't want to accept that.
Well, no. In reality, like the whole topic of the show is how do you stay consistent? Well, you stay consistent because it becomes part of your life. It becomes part of your identity.
Of you.
It is part of you. So if you think about it, if it if it needs to become part of your identity in order to stick for the long haul permanently, what does that mean for your relationship if it doesn't become part of their identity? It does mean
there you go.
Drifting.
Yes.
I think that's a difficult topic for people.
It is. It's a hard conversation.
It is.
Because
there's going to be a lot of compromise that has to happen. And when there always has to be compromise in relationships, it builds up resentment. That's when the resentment builds.
And not to get off topic, I'm going to get off topic a little bit. One thing why I was anti-marriage before I met you and all that, because everybody planted in my head that it's a lot of work. That's what I would hear from them. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Then friends I knew were divorced, like, don't do it. It's not worth it, bro. It's going to cost you a lot of money. You're going to be paying this chick forever. It's not worth it. You're going to be working just to pay her. So I was like, oh, hell no, I don't want to do this. You're right. I'm cool. I want to be a player and be on the market and have no one tell me nothing. I'm with y'all. You know what I'm about? I was so anti. Sorry, I went off topic, but that was the truth. I was tainted.
So then what? You're going to finish your thought.
What I was getting at is eventually, you know, I started maturing and I said, you know what? I want to settle down with somebody. I want to see for myself. I don't want to just take everybody's word for it because everybody's different. And then I saw how naturally we vibed, and this ain't a lot of work, this relationship stuff. Because I always said, if I'm going to have a girlfriend and it's a lot of work and it's constantly back and forth, tug of war, I'm not doing it. Sorry. I can live alone. I know how to sustain. I'm good. I know how to cook, clean. I know how to live. So, you know, it just felt natural. It wasn't a tug of war.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had our ups and downs and this and that, but it hasn't been a job. It doesn't feel like a job. Like marriage shouldn't feel like a job.
No, the ups and downs are like the random kind of big thing. Because I'm not going to sit up here and say there hasn't been. But the key is, hey everyone, you know I'm all about making life easier while staying on track with your health and fitness goals. And that's why I love MegaFit Meals. MegaFit Meals is your go-to for macro-friendly meal prep that tastes amazing. Whether you're crushing your fitness goals or you just want a convenient way to eat clean and delicious meals, MegaFit has you covered. They've got everything from high-protein favorites to keto-friendly options and everything in between. Plus, the meals come perfectly portioned, ready to heat and eat, saving you time and stress. And the best part, you can save on your orders by using my code, JEANINE at checkout. Head over to megafitmeals.com and check it out. Don't forget to use my code, JEANINE, because when life gets busy, MegaFit Meals keeps you on track. Hey everyone, I wanted to take a minute to talk about something that has truly been a game changer for Mike and I. HRT and peptides from Transcend. If you've been following our journey, you know that we're all about thriving, not just surviving, especially at 49 and 50 years old. Thanks to Transcend, we're looking and feeling our absolute best. Their personalized approach to hormone optimization and peptides has helped us boost energy, improve recovery, and stay on top of our game. And here's the best part. You can experience the same transformation. Transcend offers customized treatments designed just for you. Whether it's hormone balance, better sleep, or more energy, they've got you covered. Are you ready to get started? Use our exclusive link, transcendcompany.com/ESCO Elite. Book your consultation and take advantage of a 15% new patient discount. Don't wait. Your best years are still ahead, and transcendcompany.com can help you. Head to transcendcompany.com/ESCO Elite today and take the first step toward looking and feeling your best. Trust me, you won't regret it. Everyday life is easy, right?
Yeah.
Like everyday life is easy. We're compatible. When people say, and they lead with, well, I mean, you know, it is what it is because relationships are hard. I'm always like, oh, I don't know.
Or if you have to
I'm concerned for you a little bit
because if you lead every day,
if you lead with, well, you know, it takes a lot of work, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds like too much work for me.
You don't got
maybe
time.
I have maybe my standards for that and conflict are different. Maybe because I just don't like to live. I do not like to live in conflict. So for me, it works that we live like the same lifestyle in now, right? Our nutrition, fitness, health,
our business together,
you know,
podcasts, and everything we do.
But besides all that, besides all that, the way we just live in general is very compatible.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it easy.
Has to be.
Because then it's like hard to stay mad even at the big things because we just live well together.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what's funny is when I was younger, I'm thinking of something, is your person who you're with, could be your spouse, your girlfriend, your fiance. Sometimes they do get triggered by when you're at the gym at X amount of time. Because I remember when I was single, my 20s dating, I remember one girl said, you spend so much time at the gym. Yeah, I go every day. I love to work out.
Mm-hmm.
This is who I am. What am I supposed to change for you? Because it makes you feel a certain way because you don't go to the gym?
Right.
And that could be a problem.
Yes.
That right there.
Yeah. Because it.
And it's really a reflection of them.
I mean, that's why. I mean, we've talked about this. We've talked about like compatibility before on this show, but that's why that's what makes it permanent. It becomes part of you. It becomes part of your lifestyle. But then you do have to think about how it's going to affect your relationship as well. Because is it feasible? And I mean, this is an open conversation because
True.
I don't have all the answers.
No.
But I'm saying, is it feasible to live a healthy lifestyle and be with someone that completely is the opposite end of the spectrum? Can you come together and live in harmony? You sound off in the comments, guys.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
My answer would be no.
Does it make it difficult? And deep down, do you wish it were different? Would it make it easier?
Let us know.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because everybody's different. Me personally, my answer is no.
I think it creates a friction. Like I wonder, I mean, I have to say, so like when I shifted my lifestyle, I never commented on your burritos before. But why did I was now really focused and working on my show, whatever. Why did suddenly it created a friction? There was a friction there. I didn't intend for it to create a friction.
And you know what? And selfishly, that was my fault. Because here you are, on point, eating very rigid and strict. And here I am coming home with burrito and chips, like kind of throwing it in your face. Like, wait a minute. He should be supporting me. Maybe not to eat like I'm eating perfect, but maybe clean it up a little bit. Maybe try to do better. And maybe deep down, you were concerned with my health because I was overweight.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, listen, people, when you're overweight, I hate to say it, I don't want to hear it, but my blood markers are good. You're not healthy. Trust me. What you can't see on the inside, those organs, they're protruding your stomach.
Well,
that means there's a lot of grease to your heart.
Unbeknownst to you, you were literally a ticking time bomb.
Yes, I was. Yes.
You know,
how I
at
lived,
the
I don't
time.
know. Because I still lifted weights. I still worked out. I still did Muay Thai.
That was what you said to me, by the way. So for those of you guys who don't know, I'm going to recap because we have a lot of new followers. The burrito story we're talking about is Mike he would get a burrito like every single day. He would walk in to the house with his big ass burrito.
Steak
like
burrito.
This big.
Yes.
This thing was huge. And chips. And he would plop his ass on the couch and eat his burrito. And he would have one literally like every day. And he always did. But when I started to kind of like focus on my nutrition, all that, it became more obvious to me.
For sure.
And so I would swallow it and never say anything. But one day, I think I just got annoyed because it was just literally like 3 days in a row or something. And I was like, another burrito? And that's all I said. And you flew off the handle. So the way you reacted told me that you knew that it was overdoing it. And you went off. I remember specifically what you said. You said, I work out every day. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, but you also eat a freaking big ass burrito every day. You look like a burrito. And you know what he would do?
Everything she's saying is true, you guys. And I did work out hard back then.
It gets worse. And he would eat the burrito at around 3, 4 o'clock. And, you know, it's okay. You know, he takes a nap here and there on the couch, a quick little snoozer. No, not back then. Back then, this guy would march his ass upstairs, get into bed, and take like an hour and a half siesta.
That's all bad.
Every time he would eat a burrito and then go to sleep. And you would get into bed. It was ridiculous to me.
I don't know why I did
I'm
that.
like, what the fuck?
Like now, I just need like a 15
and
minute
you're
recharge.
good. You're recharged. You get
Yeah.
up, you pop over, get some coffee.
Maybe a half hour at the longest.
Yeah.
That's it. And I'm done. I'm ready to go.
And so it did. It bothered me. It kind of just got on my nerves. It just felt like, what the?
Because you know what I was doing? I was spiking the hell out of my insulin.
Yeah, you go night night.
I don't even have insulin
Take a
spikes
little
anymore.
memes.
Yeah.
Take a little memes.
And then what would I do? I'd be up late at night. Remember?
Yeah.
I had a
Now
bad
after
habit.
you eat, you go walk. Totally different person.
I get on the treadmill and do
Yeah.
my 10, 15, 20, 30
and
minute
that's
walks.
part of your life.
Yes.
So it is just,
See?
it's not work. You're not white knuckling it. This
No.
is just part of your everyday life. So that's the answer for you guys. The answer is make it part of your life. This is your new life. If
That's
you
it.
are not willing to do that, you got to rethink your whole goals and
You're
everything.
either going to become a regret one way or another. You got to go in one direction or another. The other direction, you don't want to end up in an emergency hospital room like I did
Yeah.
with some bad news.
All right, you guys. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.